Hi there. Today I'm going to record a small session as a sample video for my application for this Python teacher or Python instructor. So I have chosen a topic of Python containers, which I will be going through and sharing you for the small piece of slides. So let's jump right into it and learn about Python list containers collections. So when we talk about Python containers are the everything we need to understand that in any object-oriented programming language, everything is considered as an object. In Python, everything is considered as an object as well. So even the simplest string and the numbers are considered as an object. What do you mean by that? So we have dynamic allocations for the variables. So a variable or a container where we are storing the value, or a placeholder we want to store the value, could be a string, could be a number, could be a float value, which is decimal point, as we all know. And we can use those containers object for in our programming. When we will expand that to the containers level, we will see that there are few different types of containers that are available. Actually, Python is really good and flexible in terms of um, different types of data types. For example, arrays, um, equally equally very flexible, like for arrays, for array list, like we do in Java, right? So we have similar kind of a key based search, or key based value, or key based tables, that we call it a dictionary. So we're going to start looking into that in a moment. The thing that I like for this app that I use is that it is not only limited to um, what you see is what you get. You can actually do some experiment, and at the end of the each tutorial, you can take a minor quiz of 5 or 6 questions so that you know about it. So let's start with our first example. We have x is equals to my favorite number is, and y is 21. So the beauty of Python is that it will be able to concatenate x and y result, even though they are separated by comma. That comma will not appear, but it will be able to it will be, so we can see that how we can spit it out on the Python screen. So if you try it yourself, this is an ad that comes up every time, but if I'll print out the output, my favorite number is 21. Yes, you can change it as you go. We can change it to, let's say, 22, and do an output. We will see that output. So it's very flexible. It's for the small testing of your codes. You can use this app that I'm using, which I will going to explain when I will be tutoring. Let's go to the containers. This is the list. The fruits is list that we have right now. We have bananas, apple, grapes, and if we go about and print this list, it will print them as they are entered. So if I'll go here, the list is bananas, apple, and grapes, and if I'm gonna go and print it, as simple as that, as what you see as you get kind of output. And if obviously if you want to change it, we can change that, as we saw in the last um, example that I did. If I go to the next lesson, this is essentially a Python list. So the Python list is an ordered container. The containers that we looked at in the previous slide, it is actually the same thing. Right now we are dealing with pets, and we want to print out the pets. Essentially the same thing. Now here we can, the flexibility of Python that I like is that not like Java, it is not very restrictive on that, hey, it has to be the same data type. But no, you can put different types of items, meaning variety of data types in one list. So dog is a string or a text. uh, the number 21 is actually a number, and then the boolean, so it's a container. It could be a mixed type as well, which is very flexible uh, so that you don't have to create separate data types to store separate values and then start mapping those. You can just uh, call them by their indexes, and that's what we're going to be looking at when we'll talk about indexes in the next slide. But here you go, you are able to see that this is the list: dog, 21 and true, and it will be spit it out. Same thing as sorry about this. Wait for this. So we will look into that. But as you can see, if I'll go ahead, print dog, 21 and true, and if I'll output that on the screen, dog, 21 and true is printed out as is on the screen. Furthermore, if you want to go through the indexes or indices, we call it, this is the list that we have, but can we refer them with the indexes individually? Yes, we can. Just like in any other programming language, we can do it here, 0, 1 and 2, and we can try it out. The good part that I like about, you don't have to struggle too much by looking at different indexes. If you want to start from the end of the list going towards the start of the list, or you can do a start from the list and going towards the end of the list, as we did here in Python. It's really easy to do that with the negative indexing, which means starting from the right, pets -3, at -3 location what we have is rabbit, so that will be printed out, and then in the last so -1, which is rabbit, so we're starting from the this corner, from the right corner, so rabbit will be printed, then cat will be printed, and dog. So I repeat here just to correct myself here. So -1 meaning starting from the right, rabbit, -2 means cat, and -3 means dog. So if I'll try this one out, for sure, thanks that we have no add here, but if I'll print it out, rabbit, cat and dog, correct. What if I want to make a mistake and make it a -4 here? And I like to make these mistakes, because if programmers don't make mistakes, then who will make mistakes for during the code? So let's say what happens, and it will crash this time, or it will complain about that. Yes, index error, because we are out of bound error, and this is the very common error that programmers do see when the when I started writing code initially, when I was programming, I was used to make these mistakes, index out of bound and all that. Learned through hard way, but I want you to give a heads up that these are the things that you will see. So this is my introductory lesson that I wanted to give to you as a sample, that yes, I am passionate about teaching in Python, and I have created curriculum for Python, and I am actually teaching several courses at the university level, and I'm now planning to create a Python for a beginner level, and Python gaming code as well. Alright, see you then. Thank you. Bye bye.